everybody, we're standing out here on a beautiful Friday afternoon, and I'm sure you saw the video title. We have decided to purchase a new car to replace this 2025 Toyota Camry. Now, you saw just a couple days ago that we were selling this Camry, and now is the time that we get to pick up our new vehicle. And what is that, Drew?
It's the 2026 Toyota RAV4. It doesn't get any bigger than that. It's actually the best-selling vehicle in the entire United States. So we knew a lot of people would be interested in that, and we're excited to get one of the first batch of them in our country.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the dealership so we can pick it up.
All right, now this RAV4 is officially ours at this point. We have signed the paperwork. We, of course, went for that initial test drive and inspection of the vehicle to make sure everything is good to go. And here we are. This is our first walk around. We're just going to kind of walk through some of the basic, specifications of what we purchased.
Yeah, so this is the RAV4 XLE Premium all-wheel drive. So we did go ahead and select this model because this is pretty much the volume selling trim in the RAV4 lineup. So they actually got rid of the XLE trim level this year, and now it's just the XLE Premium trim, so that's what we opted for. And of course, the reason why we bought the RAV4 was because this is such a popular model. Actually, it was the #1 selling vehicle if you include the F-150 in its own specific number.
Yeah, 475,000 units sold last year, which is absolutely incredible because that was on the last model year, by the way, of a generation that had already been out for 6 years. And now we've got this all new one, so who knows how much is going to be sold this year, but it's going to be big. And of course, we want to bring things to the channel that you guys are very much interested in. A lot of people that tune into our channel are going to be shopping for a new RAV4 this year. And we wanted to get one of the first ones so that we could put it to the test and show you all the things that are good and maybe not so good about this new model. Now, if you're wondering about the paint color, this is called Ice Cap. This was actually the free white. Our Camry was Windchill Pearl, so that was a little bit more of a premium paint color. They look fairly similar. This just has a little bit less metallic in the color.
And around at the side, as you can see, we don't have the two-tone roof or anything like that. That is not offered on this trim level, but certainly it is a cool option that the RAV4 does offer in this new generation. You just have to get the higher-end example. And then let's take a look at the rear design. Overall, I do like the way this new RAV4 looks overall. It's pretty handsome in its shape and design, and then the XLE still gets elements like this blacked out piece here in the center section. And then, of course, it's a hybrid because all of them are hybrids this year. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside as well so you can see what that looks like. So the one that we selected is actually the black interior. So if you're talking about a common combination, I'd say that this XLE Premium white exterior with a black interior is certainly a very common combination, for a very popular vehicle. Ideally, I think I would have liked to have the beige interior. However, it was just not in the allocation that we were trying to get this vehicle in. So the black interior is what we went with, and we look forward to seeing how that ages over time. And of course, we did want to show you the window sticker as well. So here's the window sticker for our RAV4. As you can see, it's the XLE Premium all-wheel drive. And as far as options, we tried to go as lightly optioned as possible, but we did go for one package. This is the wind blew as soon as I was trying to talk about it. The weather package, there we go. The heated steering wheel, the rain sensing wipers, that's $375. And then after the $1,450 destination, this, modestly equipped RAV4 is $39,325, which It's not bad for a RAV4.
Yeah, I mean, despite price increases with this new generation, that still really, fits into the heart of what a lot of people are going to be shopping at. You might not know, but the average price of a new car in the US is just slightly under $50,000 right now. So this RAV4, really represents a much more affordable price point. This starts at about $31,000. And like we said, right here in the middle of the lineup with the third trim level up the structure, we're setting at about $39,000 once you add in that all-wheel drive system.
If you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we have reviewed over 2,000 vehicles at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from humble to high-end, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, guys, we are pulling away from the dealership, and this is going to be our first drive of, well, besides for the test drive, of the 2026 Toyota RAV4 we just bought. Of course, we're pretty excited to take this home and begin our ownership experience with this vehicle. There's certainly a lot to learn, and like we've said, plenty of times, really the main reason we're buying this car is because there are so many of you guys that are going to be interested in buying this yourself, and we really want to put it through the paces. Now, I just want to hit a few quick things that we didn't quite mention already. As far as the pricing, we did pay no markup on this vehicle, so I know a lot of you guys are concerned. Toyota dealers in your region are charging a lot of markups. We will give a little bit of a shout out to Toyota South. They don't do markups, so shop around and you should be able to find one certainly at MSRP. And I do also want to point out that this is not a press car, and we did buy this with our own money, so that way we can provide you all with the most realistic impressions as we own this vehicle, because we just picked it up off of the dealership lot.
Now, like we mentioned earlier, we're buying one of basically the first batch of RAV4s to hit the U.S. market. And the reason why we're doing that is, of course, to get on this quickly. We want to go ahead and test it out now so that those of you shopping over the coming year will go ahead and have that information available to you. Because, of course, this is a very popular vehicle.
Yeah, and, we want to know how it's going to hold up over a year. So if we waited a lot longer to buy one, you wouldn't have that detailed information when you're looking to buy one yourself. Now, all three team members, so Drew, me, and Josh, will all be driving this RAV4, and we'll routinely be putting miles on it to get different perspectives as well. So you're not just going to get just one opinion. You'll get a lot of different opinions as well from the people that we have in the vehicle, and we'll report all of that to you guys to give you the best perspective. And honestly, one of the other reasons why we're pretty excited about this RAV4 purchase is because Toyotas continue to be an important part for our family. Now, we detailed this in our Camry purchase when we bought that about a year and a half ago. Our dad worked at TMMK, so the Toyota plant in Georgetown, for, I believe, 37 years. So they are an important part of our family. That's the type of car that we grew up driving, was Toyotas. And, this RAV4 is obviously the biggest deal to the Toyota brand, really, and we look forward to testing it out. Now, this particular model was manufactured in Canada, but they will be building this new RAV4 in Georgetown, so just a few minutes away from where we live, as well as Japan. So there's quite a few different locations where they're going to be building this RAV4. This specific model was manufactured in Canada.
Now, another big thing we are really looking forward to testing out is the new infotainment system. So actually, this RAV4 debuts a brand new Toyota multimedia infotainment system that no other Toyota or Lexus product has yet. And this is, something we really look forward to testing out, because we have had trouble with our 2025 Camry in the past. The wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and just some kind of tech bugs in general. We know a lot of other Toyota owners have had these issues, and we really want to see if this new system, actually fixes those things and makes it a lot easier to live with on the day-to-day.
Yeah, fingers crossed that it will auto-pair when we get in the car and actually stay paired instead of kind of glitching out like what we had experienced in plenty of other Toyota products. products. Now, I do also want to address, some of you guys might be wondering how this hybrid powertrain is going to hold up. That's something that we are curious in testing as well. This now has the new 5th generation of the hybrid system, so it is a newer version than what the previous RAV4 had. It is very similar to what we had in our Camry, so we had no issues with that, and we don't really expect to have any issues with this, but we do want to test that out for you all as well. And you might be wondering, why didn't we get the plug-in hybrid? Because there's 2 different hybrid options that they offer in this new RAV4, regular hybrid and plug-in hybrid. We didn't get the plug-in hybrid because it's not available just yet. So the plug-in hybrid, I think, is a couple more months in terms of availability as compared to right now, and also it will demand quite a bit of a higher price point. So one of the things that we try and focus on is getting the volume selling model, and in this case most people will be rolling off the dealership lots with the regular hybrid system, so we do want to test this out more extensively, although I will say the plug-in hybrid is really good, so it's a little tempting.
Yeah, that was super fast.
We really liked it, but
yeah, it's going to give you a high performance option. You can even get like the GR Sport, for example, if you want to go crazy. This new RAV4 really has a lot of trims that can span a lot of different personalities, so it's certainly something that you can kind of match with what type of performance, what type of design you're looking for. We're on a pretty rough road here, so some initial perspective on the ride quality. I'm pretty impressed.
I'm liking
for sure.
it. Yeah,
it's really isolating out this stuff, as I kind of expected. I know the RAV4 has always been a great riding vehicle, and we have the smaller wheels and thicker tires, so that should definitely help in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. I also am noticing that these RAV4 seats are a lot more comfortable than our Camry seats.
Absolutely.
So I'm really kind of sinking into these and enjoying these seats a lot more than what we had in our Camry. And if you know, we complained about it quite a bit in our ownership experience. And that's pretty pertinent because what I'm looking at right now is the fuel range. And I don't know what type of fuel tank this has. Maybe I'll do some research and put it in a box right down below. But it's saying 632 miles. And actually, we've already been, driving this car for about 20 miles. So it was around 650 miles when we first, got this car and took it on a test drive. So if it can get anywhere close to like a 600 plus mile fuel range, I think that is pretty darn impressive. There's very few cars that can do that. Now, one of the other reasons why we picked this RAV4 was because it does have a little bit more practicality as compared to our Camry that we had previously. Now, for those of you that are keen followers of the channel, you might know that I just welcomed in my first child just a few short weeks ago. So having the extra space, for those of you that have families, I'm sure you know, is certainly a nice thing to have, just to throw things in the back of an SUV as compared to a sedan. It's a little bit more practical. So that's something we're looking forward to with this RAV4. And I will say, we're definitely sad to be getting rid of the Camry. As far as like design stuff goes, I think the Camry may look a little bit better on the outside. For our personal taste, we like the two-tone and the red interior and things like that. However, we really want the models that we are testing out in our long-term fleet to be models that our viewers are looking to actively buy, so we can get those latest and greatest impressions for you all. So we do feel like this new RAV4 better fits that bill as compared to the Camry, because the Camry doesn't sell as many as the RAV4, and most people are buying SUVs nowadays.
Yeah, and until this guy went out and became a family man, sedans, fit the bill a little bit better for our lifestyles, but, now a little extra space is going to be quite nice.
All right, so that is where we're going to pretty much be leaving off on this RAV4 purchase video. Now, of course, the purchase video is just the first video of many more to come. That's the reason we buy these cars, is so we can provide you all those latest and greatest impressions and videos as time goes on. So you'll definitely want to be subscribed to the channel for quite a few different videos. We'll put those on the screen right now, but definitely long-term reliability, so over thousands and thousands of miles. How is this RAV4 going to hold up when it comes to the powertrain section, as well as things like this interior? I think build quality is going to be a thing that I'm keenly interested in, because they definitely did cheap out on some of the materials inside of this new RAV4's cabin. So I'm curious to know how it's going to hold up, and that's going to be stuff that we detail in future videos, as well as nighttime content, comparisons, and all the in-between. So you'll definitely want to stay subscribed to Car Confections, or subscribe if you're not already, to stay up to date on the latest content. And if you're looking to buy a Toyota RAV4, we'd encourage you you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you should do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use while dealership negotiating. If you'd like to take advantage of that, as well as things like our monthly payment tool, you can find a link to that down below in the video description, as well as a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that's where we're going to leave off. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe. And of course, we'll see you in the next video, whether that's a RAV4 video or something else.